morning, Muscatine. It is Thursday the 10th, and it is a jam-packed show yet again today. And we have Tim and Lucas here from Special Olympics. We have Muscatine Heart and Soul here talking about the community surveying project they've got going on. We've got Chase Sywassink talking about a concert to raise money for NAMI. And then to close out the show, we have, I'm just going to call it what it is, my favorite first grade teacher, who's, you'll probably be able to hear some, if you hear some chirping in the background during this episode, it's probably her correcting me because she's very used to it. But no, we have some friends talking about their Grief Share program, and you'll probably recognize all three of them, actually. So we're going to just jump right in. I'm going to stop talking and making stuff up and talk about an amazing program that I always love it when you guys come on, Tim, because you consistently do awesome stuff. And, that's not easy, right?
No, and we appreciate, thank you for saying that. It's nice to be awesome, right, Luke?
Yeah.
So, obviously, we talk about Special Olympics a lot, and but if you could, just introduce yourselves real quick, and maybe let's just dive right into the softball tournament, because you guys did pretty well.
We did very well, yes. So absolutely, I'm Tim Atkins, director of Muscatine Special Olympics, and this is
Lucas Hines.
Yep. And Luke has been an athlete for how long, Luke?
Forever.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
Yep. Luke's been with us forever, and this was your first year doing team softball, right?
Yeah.
You used to do skills, and we moved you up to team. And what did you guys do?
I got a first place.
Yep, gold medal, right? It was awesome. It was a better day than it was last year. Last year was like 108 degrees. It was the worst day of the year. Yeah, it was really, really rough, and we stayed under 90 this year up in Ankeny. So it was a great tournament. So that's kind of the culmination of our middle summer, which is softball, and now we lead into late summer, fall sports. So we begin our flag football, which is a skills level, and then an intermediate level, and then the higher level of flag football, 5-on-5. And then we this year SO is adding pickleball for our fall classic, which is a full state tournament for 3 days in Des Moines, September 29th, 30th, and so yeah, we got that to look forward to.
And I'm sure you've got some place out at the Y to play pickleball.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we have. Pickleball is a big deal now in the world, right? It's kind of the strangest thing, but it grew very quickly and became very passionate.
It did. What's interesting is I play racquetball, and everybody's like, "Well, why don't you go play pickleball?" I'm like, "It's a little slow for me." Something like that, because we're professional racquetball. No, yeah. But it looks like a blast. It's like a weird combination of tennis, table tennis, racquetball, and
and if you like, pickleball is one of those sports where people become incredibly passionate about it, right, Luke?
Yes.
Yeah,
because if you want to hit the ball, it's really good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people who are involved in pickleball, it's a lot like the passion of bowlers, where they get their 300 game, they get like a tattoo on their body or something like this. Pickleballers get really serious, I've found, which is kind of amazing. But it's very much a thing of great passion, and it's kind of spread its way into our sport because it can be set at a developmental level as well as played at a very high level. So we're excited about the introduction of it. We think it's going to go really well. And it gives, the more range of sports you give, because personalities are different. Certainly ability levels are different, but every sport we do has an adaptive side to it. So you definitely can find any place in any sport, but it's about the interest of it too. Some people don't have an interest in breaking down football the way that I like football, right? That's my big passion. But so this gives another option in the fall arena where we can do that. We don't have enough of a crew to do a volleyball. They offer volleyball in the fall too, but but we've got more of a passion around the flag football stuff, so that's kind of where most of our populace congregates for fall sports. But we're excited for pickleball. It's going to be an interesting thing.
And golf.
Oh yes, we have our golf tournament's a unified tournament, and that'll be coming up in September as well. That's a one-day tournament out at Muni, and what we do is we pair members of the community into a unified team with an Olympian. They come out and golf 9 holes, shotgun start for a day. And so if anybody in the community is interested in that, just reach out to us at the Y, and we can get you signed up. And it's a great day of fun. It's a great day of fun. I had completely forgotten about golf, and I'm glad you're here, Luke. My brain would have flown away, right? Yeah. And so we're getting ready for fall sports there, and then golf will happen, and of course set the date for September 14th for our first responders game, and we'll come on with the sheriffs and the firefighters and talk to you all about that when we get closer.
Yeah, and as long as that's as much fun as the first responders basketball game, it should be pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah.
Softball was good last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim takes a pie to the face for some charity, so if you want to be interested in that, there's a $10 raffle to hit me in the face with a pie at that game.
That sounds much safer than what you
much
did last
safer
year.
than, yes, those darn splatter balls do not splatter.
They don't.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Stephanie Torrance says, "Hi, Lucas and Jen."
Hi.
How's it going, guys? Yeah. I'm happy to finally bring Luke with me. He's like a local personality, aren't you, buddy?
Yes.
You know everybody and their brother.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Luke works at All Steel and at Stanley, and has been a standard of the downtown scene, right?
Yeah.
Been out hanging out, knowing everybody, don't you?
Yes.
And if you don't, you know them 3 seconds later.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of good things coming up. It was a great weekend for softball for us. Happy to have it wrap up that way. Not too hot, and we're excited for the next. If you see us out there practicing at the Y, we practice flag football right out front, and so just honk when you drive by. We'll be happy to wave at you, kind of check out what we're doing. And if you see any of the athletes in public, always remember to say hi. They're really going to want to tell you all about how it's going. This is the thing about our program is inclusion and integration, and Muscatine does a great job of that.
Yeah, and the one thing that you can't leave a conversation with an Olympian without a smile on your face. You guys are all great ambassadors for what you do. You're all excellent community members on whole, and it's great to see a program like that continue to stay strong and receive the support it does. Like the bike ride. And
the torch run, you bet.
Yeah. It's called the torch run,
Torch
but
run,
it's really bike ride.
And there's no torch. Yeah, it's exciting.
It's
we like to jumble it all
false
up.
advertising.
Yeah.
But it gets, that one gets so big that the sheriff's department may get in a little bit of a contest with the sheriff's department out of the Des Moines area.
West Des Moines, very much so.
And they're going back and forth on YouTube challenging each other. So.
Yes, well, Muscatine's #1 in the state, so you got it when you're at the top.
Yes.
They come for you, man. They come for you. It's just how it works.
But you got it handled, right, bud?
Right, Liz?
Yes.
But we got this under control, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Program's doing very strong, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things that we really do love, yes, do engage with us, do integrate. And if you want to come out and see a practice, you want to stop out and say hey and see what's going on, please go ahead. We're always looking for another volunteer. We have a young athletes play day that's great for people who can only volunteer for one day, and that's for the elementary school kids, the little kids who aren't old enough to participate in the standard program yet. We do have the golf tournament if you're a golfer. There's always something going on. And so, do reach out. We love to be engaged in our community. We have a great community for it. And it's never hard to talk about what's going on in life, right?
No.
No, because life's always pretty good, isn't it,
Yeah.
Lucas? Yeah. This is the most quiet Lucas has been maybe ever. It's amazing.
Well, on that note, do you have anything you want to say? You don't want to drop any rhymes or anything? Anybody you want to say hi to?
Just hi.
Just hi to everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us on, Chris. You've been a
Absolutely.
great supporter.
Hey,
We're really
anytime.
happy to be here.
Yep, anytime at all. You guys are welcome back anytime. And we will be right back with Chase Sywassink talking about the Fueled by Emo concert. That'll be a fundraiser for NAMI here in a couple weeks. So we'll be right back.
We are looking for a zero-turn lawnmower.
At Hustler Turf, quality matters.
Can I test drive that one?
In the store?
Even in the buying experience. We know you want to buy from someone who knows what they're talking
We're
about.
looking for a zero-turn mower.
Like
Great.
this guy.
First thing you need to know is what's the size of your property? Are there any obstacles?
Head to your local Hustler dealer and talk to a lawnmower expert.
Stop in to Muscatine Lawn and Power at 2020 Stewart Road to see Hustler quality for yourself.
We've all been through a lot together, and along the way, you'll find out who really cares for you and who you can trust. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life, like those days when the amazing happens, or those days that are really, really hard. That's why you need someone like Unity Point Health. Because when it comes to your health, you gotta have someone you can trust. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world. Okay, guys, we've been through a lot together. We all know sometimes it gets hard, but it's okay to not feel okay. You know what helps? A good book or going for a walk. Not now, Fred. But what really helps is to talk to someone. Because to take care of each other, you gotta take care of you. If you need to talk to someone, your doctor will listen. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Rivo.
Welcome back. We have, and I misspoke before the break. The concert, I haven't figured out that it's August yet. Anybody that watches the show regularly knows that days and dates and I don't get along really well, which you would think as a host of a morning show, you would do better at it, but I'm horrible. I thought it was January for most of February, so the concert's actually the 12th, which is in like 2 days. So, two days, Saturday. Today's Thursday, 2 days is from here, right?
Yes,
is that right?
Saturday,
Chase got, okay.
I
So,
remember what day it was as well.
if you guys could, just introduce yourselves real quick, and then we'll kind of dive right into the concert and NAMI and what all's going on.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Chris, for having us on. We love Muscatine. We love doing the Reaching Out concert with Chase and Skippy. It's such a wonderful community and so supportive. My name's Lori Leipold. I am the Development Director and Walk Manager for NAMI Greater Mississippi Valley.
Hi there. Thank you for having me on, Chris and Chris. My name is Chase Sywassink. I'm a local here my entire life. My friend Andrew Armstrong, people also know him as Skippy, and I put this event together 3 years ago, thinking it was just going to be a small thing, and now we're going on our third annual year. I'm one of the promoters, and Skippy is also a promoter, and that's where we go from there.
So let's do this first so we don't forget. The concert itself. Okay. Saturday, when is it? Who's here?
All right.
Where do they go? What are they going to see?
We have a acoustic act named Mike. He's going to be playing from 5:30 to, if I'm not mistaken, 8:30 or 8:45, and then that's free in the garden. The sales from the purchases you make at the brew, percentage of it will go towards us that we can donate to NAMI afterwards. And then 9 to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's adult only, and it's a $10 entry fee. Once again, what we collect at the door and the percentage, like the percentage of sales we get from the brew, that all goes towards NAMI. And then we also have raffles from local businesses, from like the Merrill, Salon Incognito. If you go onto the event page on Facebook, we have a whole list of all the vendors.
Looks like the Merrill Soap Company, Burrito Factory, Hubble's, Feather Your Nest, Extreme Pest Control are just the ones I've got. Oh, Meineke, Schmidt House Barbecue,
That was
Window
the one.
Sitter. Yeah, like, so a ton. Like,
It's a good amount. It's $2 per raffle ticket, or you can save a little bit, spend $20 and get 15 raffle tickets. You can get onto the event page and get a hold of Skippy or I, and we can help you get raffle tickets early. If not, we will be selling raffle tickets during and before the event.
Awesome. So how did you guys, no, let's go this way. How did you guys kind of come up with the connection to NAMI? Like, where did that come from? And
Well, obviously reaching out was created by Skippy and I when we finally sat down during COVID. Everything was going. People went through a hard time during COVID, and people have always been going through a hard time with mental health, and COVID kind of brought that out because there's a lot of isolation, and that's something that if you suffer from a mental health disorder, it's always not the best idea to be isolated.
Right.
So we reached out to our friend Tony Tone, and we were trying to figure out what would be the best organization that our money that we raise, it would actually do good. Mm-hmm. We wanted to keep it in the community too. So he told us to get a hold of NAMI, GMV, because that money stays local within the greater Mississippi Valley area. And that's very important. Keep it local.
It is, and that's one thing, and this actually is a great segue into what NAMI does, like here in Muscatine. But, you know, NAMI does a great job of kind of like consolidating resources and distributing them very well, and making sure that each area in your service area gets what they need. So it's, you know what? Rather than me just bumbling and mumbling, we should probably just let you explain how you guys do this stuff and like what all, because there was some presentations about 2 months ago that you guys did down here, and a whole bunch of stuff. So.
Right. Well, you're right, Chris. We do serve as a mental health resource for people to get information on community resources, but our main service to the Quad City region, which of course includes Muscatine County, is to provide education programs and support groups for people who are living with any kind of a mental health condition, but also, and really just as importantly, their families and friends. So it's everyone in their support circle who can come to a NAMI program and learn about how to better communicate with a loved one, how to plan for a crisis situation, and access those community resources. So NAMI provides these programs free. All programs are free. They are nationally developed. NAMI is headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia. We are in the Quad City region, one of about 600 affiliates across the country. And these programs are researched and proven to be successful, and we're so proud to offer them in all the counties that we serve, 5 in eastern Iowa and 3 in western Illinois. And here in Muscatine County, we offer our education programs, like you mentioned, Chris, and we also partner with Trinity Muscatine Public Health on education programs for families, as well as mental health and suicide prevention programs in area middle and high schools here in Muscatine County.
Yeah, and that's one of the nice things is that's one of the reasons that Tony would have mentioned you guys right off the bat. You know, he and I have talked about this topic a lot, and you know, mental health has always been an issue that we didn't necessarily recognize or feel comfortable talking about. And you know, the reality is it's no different than a sprained ankle or now obviously it's different. Absolutely. Don't read into what I said, folks, but you know what I mean. Like it's something you have to take care of. It's something that is in fact a health concern. It is taking care of yourself and doing positive mental activities for yourself is just as important as eating healthy. It's just as important as exercise. And building that tribe around you is huge, and being open and available to people to join your tribe. You know what I mean? Like, and finding things that it's so critical. And as you said, during COVID, obviously it was a hot mess. You know, I mean, but you know, unprecedented worldwide pandemic. You know, it's going to happen, right? So as you guys kind of have gone through, you know, we're year 3 here, what are some of the things, like if you could make sure that people took one thing away that they might not know about NAMI, what do you think it would be?
Wow, I think it is that we provide this free programming, education seminars, and support groups that is nationally developed for folks who are living with a mental health condition, but just as importantly, those families and friends in their support circle. Because, you know, we always say, like you put it, I couldn't have put it better myself, Chris, mental health is health, you know, and guess what? It's okay to talk about it. And starting those conversations is what the Reaching Out Benefit Concert is so important for, because it brings awareness to it. People are talking about it. They know that their mental health is just as important as their physical health, and they have a resource to come to seek help and guidance. And education, really, that's what NAMI's all about, is education for families and support groups, so that they can continue to learn and from their peers. All of our educators have lived experience with mental health, so either themselves or a family member. So not only do they get that national training, but they also have lived experience. So they're helping people who, you know, who they've experienced the same thing. You know, they've walked in their shoes, so they're much better able to help folks.
So as let's kind of make it fun now, like, because admittedly that's pretty serious. And well, and you know, here's the thing, I always try and make sure that we talk about, like, what's the next step or what's your first step, because it's always the hardest. And in this case, related to your mental health, pick up the phone and call someone, whether it's NAMI, whether it's your general practitioner, whomever it is. Pick up the phone, make that first phone call, and say, hey, I think I might need some help. I think I've got, you know what I mean? Like, tell them what's going on. And whether it's NAMI, your general practitioner, they're going to help you get to the resource you need, right? And that's critical, right? You don't have to make that, you don't have to sit there and read 6,000 things on the web and try and guess and diagnose and do all this other stuff. Pick up the phone, call somebody, start the process. You'll feel exponentially better after you get that first step done. Now, that's my soapbox for the day. We are going to get a soapbox, Chris. I need a soapbox.
Meryl's right down there.
True.
But
and they have a great raffle basket at our concert.
On the concert, which, you know, the fun part, what's the first step people have to do? They literally just have to go, right? I mean,
just show up. Bring your friends. We start early. The first year we started at 9, so we couldn't get family involved. But last year we started early, and it really took off. We had a lot of people show up. It was cool.
Yeah, 5:30.
5:30. Come on down. There's gonna be an acoustic act. There's gonna be awesome food. I don't know if you've ever had any of the food from the brew. It's awesome. I like their grilled tenderloin with everything on it. Mm-hmm. But the first step is come down. And like you said, Chris, make that call, but also be vigilant, be hyper aware. You know your body. You know when something's wrong. If you feel like you need help and you can't get a hold of a professional, call your best friend. Call somebody at work. Call somebody. There's always somebody out there that will help you and talk to you at least. They might not be able to give you advice, but they might be able to listen to you. Mm-hmm. You're not alone. And one of the favorite things we said the first year of reaching out, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah,
we're all on this ship together, and we have to help each other to reach our journey. So. Yeah.
And so actually, I actually thought of a better first step for the concert.
Sweet.
Take your phone out right now, put an appointment, a reminder in for Saturday night, go to the brew, dinner, and send an invitation, like make it a meeting on your calendar, invite all your friends.
Even better. Get onto Facebook at the brew page and click going or attending and share the event. Yep. There's also, like I said, there's a link to all the items that are going to be raffled off. There's some really cool stuff this year. I'm kind of sad I can't put it for the raffle, but there's some really cool stuff. The window sitter, I really enjoyed some of the stuff he put in this year too. So awesome.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for swinging in, and thank you for putting on the concert. Thank you for making the resources available for Muscatine. So Saturday night, the brew, go for dinner, stay all night. That's pretty much all you need to know. Call NAMI if you need anything, right?
And thank you to the Muscatine community. Everybody shows up for this event every year. The businesses support it. Muscatine is such a generous community. Thank you.
Not just Muscatine, the whole Quad City.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's been a good-
And that's one thing, I want to be clear on something. One thing to remember, Muscatine, we all tend to want to do everything ourselves. Like we in some ways, we almost have as a community that same mental challenge of being alone sometimes, right? And it's okay to partner with people close by and yeah, of course we still want to support ourselves internally. Like I'm not saying that, but this is a great example of something we wouldn't be able to have like the NAMI level resources without partnering with the area, and also be a resource to those other communities that need it. So that's a great concept. Obviously there's a reason it works, right? So again, thank you guys for coming in Saturday night at the Brew, and then we will be right back with Cami Senior, and yes, I did just say that, and you'll want to know why, talking about Muscatine's Heart and Soul, coming up here after the break.
Rivo, the plumbing experts for Muscatine and surrounding areas, has moved. Our new location at 1109 Grandview Avenue offers spacious parking and a large open showroom. Employing experienced plumbers and carpenters, we specialize in remodeling entire bathrooms and kitchens. Imagine the possibilities. Stylish new faucets, sinks, shower units, bathtubs, and more, along with tankless water heaters and gas fireplaces. We also provide complete residential and commercial plumbing services. Rivo Incorporated. Call us for your next remodel.
River Rehab Physical Therapy. Feel better, move forward.
Looking for a fun-filled summer? Look no further than the Muscatine County Fair. Get ready for heart-pounding rides, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable memories. From Ferris wheels to tractor pulls and concerts, there's something for everyone. The Muscatine County Fair is where memories are made, laughter is shared, and fun fills the country air. Join us from July 19th through the 23rd and experience the best summer has to offer. Get your Fun Pass and concert tickets now.
And welcome back, everybody. In case you're confused, this is actually Kristen Schlawin who's here with me. And thank you for putting up with my really weird sense of humor. Just so you guys know, my son Wyatt and her youngest sister Cami are in the same class, and they have been for a long time. So obviously I know the family, and somewhere along the line, I don't remember where we were, I called one of the other three non-Cami sisters Cami Senior as a joke, and it just sort of stuck. So now every time I see one of you three, you're all just Cami Senior. And so Cami, if you're watching, hi.
Shout out to Kara and Kate, who do also have names, aka the other two Cami Seniors.
Yes, yeah. And you can even give a shout out to your parents too, because
Corey and Kurt, the other K names in the family.
Yeah, the whole Schlawin family.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. But that's, believe it or not why you're here.
Yeah.
So you've been the program director of the Muscatine Heart and Soul program, right?
Yes.
And so for those that don't know what it is, because they've probably seen, if you're from Muscatine, you've probably seen this stuff floating around, but they may not have like a nice little grasp of what it is.
Yeah.
So like what's kind of the overview, and what are you guys trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so Muscatine Heart and Soul is like a community initiative that tries to figure out what people love about Muscatine, so that when the city is doing all of their city planning and like their goal setting and like long-term plans, that they're focusing on what people really care about in Muscatine. And something that I really enjoy about it is that it's actually asset-based, which means we're focusing on the positives and what we like and where we can keep putting effort. So it's talking about things we love about Muscatine, which is different than some of the other times we've done city initiatives. So I think it's a really cool opportunity.
Well, and that's a very good point, because it's always easy. I don't care what the topic is. It's always easy to pick out the negatives and things you can do better. And that's a valid part of a process of improvement, right? But you still have to, if you don't think about the things you're doing well, it can spin to a negative spiral really quickly, right? Because you're like, oh my goodness. But there are so many great things in Muscatine that sometimes get overlooked. And, like as I've looked through some of the stuff you guys have put out, the lists are like pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
So what have you guys kind of done so far? Because there's been some surveys floating out there. Like, where in the process are you guys? And
yeah, so this is like a national program that like comes to small towns, and so it has this like, they call it like a 4-step process. We're in, I believe it's like phase 3 at this point, which is a really great place to be because we've been doing this for a couple of years now. So what we've done so far is we've done a lot of surveys. If you've been at any community events, you might have seen us with a booth where we were doing like little like I love Muscatine because cards, or we were at National Night Out doing like a voting activity. And you might have also seen our survey floating around online or QR codes various places for things like that. And we've done a couple like Heart and Soul events. And so we've been doing a lot of survey gathering at this point. We have over 1,000 touch points of data from people in the community. We've done some interviews, surveys, cards, whatever kind of survey information we can get. We've heard from a lot of different people, which has been really awesome. And then from there, we took all of that data. We actually printed out every like survey comment we got from like every group and everyone we talked to and sorted all of them into these big overarching themes of what people really care about in Muscatine and what we kept hearing again and again. And then we wrote what we call our heart and soul statements about them, which is just a short statement that's meant to really encompass as a set like the biggest assets of Muscatine and what people really care about when we talk about it. And so that was a really cool opportunity because we found that a lot of people have very similar answers because there's certain things that people really care about in Muscatine. So now that we have these heart and soul statements, we're trying to figure out if we're right. So we're doing a couple events.
I was going to see if we had, do we have the heart and soul statements handy?
I do.
You have it. Okay, Chris, do we have, I don't think we have graphics for it, but could you kind of tell people let's go through the statements first.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of go into how we're going to interact in the events and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we have 6 statements. The first one's about businesses. And we said, we appreciate Muscatine for the business opportunities it offers from our global companies to locally owned one-of-a-kind businesses. Together, they provide a strong employment environment and support entrepreneurial initiatives. The strong economic base provides the foundation for a giving and caring community. Our next one's about education and the opportunities for young people. This one says, we appreciate Muscatine for quality education choices at every stage of learning. Dedicated volunteers and professionals provide a variety of in-school and out-of-school activities and programs, creating a solid foundation that contributes to the growth and longevity of the city.
Seems pretty accurate so far.
Yep. Our next one's people in the community. Muscatine is a welcoming, caring, and friendly community that is service-oriented and engaged. We form connections with other people in town to create a strong sense of community, and we have strong familial roots while still being welcoming to newcomers.
Awesome.
And we've got size, growth, and opportunities. We said the size of Muscatine allows people to feel safe and connected to each other while also having access to resources, activities, and opportunities they need and want. Muscatine is a community always seeking to be a hometown for all residents.
Okay.
And we've got nature, outdoors, and the river. We said the Mississippi River is an important part of Muscatine's identity. It provides recreation and scenic beauty. Residents enjoy a variety of activities along the river, in our parks, and on our trails. Muscatine is a healthier and happier place due to our access to nature and outdoor spaces.
And, you know, this is the first time I've actually gotten a chance to hear them all together. Like, I've gotten snippets here and there, and, you know, that actually does sum up, like those 6 points are, oh, wait, was that, oh, I thought we were, whoops, I can't count, sorry.
So then I've got events and things to do. And that one's,
my first grade teacher didn't do a great job of teaching me how to count, folks. I'm going on the record now. Woo!
All right, so our last one's events and things to do. And this one's Muscatine cherishes its events, variety of activities, and the facilities that make them possible. People of all ages are able to experience fun, engaging community opportunities.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about it, it's the businesses, it's the people, it's events, nature, it's the schools, I think I missed one in there, but if I were to make a quick punch list, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Way more eloquent and articulate than I would have come up with, but that seems pretty accurate to me. So now that you guys have created these statements from all the input that you've gotten, what's next?
Yeah, so we have a new survey that we've got on our website and on our Facebook page. And that's a survey that has these statements on it, and we just want to hear people's feedback about if we got it right. Because we made these statements with our leadership team in a meeting where we looked at the data, but we might have gotten it wrong. We want to make sure that when people look at these statements, they feel like it's accurately representing whatever, if they've talked to us or if they've seen things in Muscatine. We want to know if that's what if people agree with what we found. And we're also doing a couple community events to continue that. Do people agree with what we found? So we have one on August 13th. That one's at 2 p.m. and it's at the Musserville Church. And then we've got two on August 15th. One's at noon at the Riverview Center, and the other is at 6 p.m. at Calvary Church. If people are looking for details on those events, they're on our Facebook page. You can check it out. We're at Muscatine Community Heart and Soul on Facebook, or again, you can check out our website, muscatineheartandsoul.org.
And we've also got all of this is on the Discover Muscatine site. If you just hop on Google, type in Heart and Soul Muscatine, you'll find all of it. Like it's super easy. So then after you guys get the feedback on the statements, what comes next? Do you just pack it up and put it away and never touch it again, or what do we get to do with it?
So it'll actually be presented to City Council, and it'll be used for when they're forming their long-term initiatives. They're coming up on the time where they have to start kind of forming those long-term plans with the city, and this is a really great opportunity to kind of influence where that goes. So these statements are going to go to City Council. We actually have a City Council member on our leadership team, so she's been at all the meetings and been a part of the process. And I work actually really closely with the Community Development Department at the city, so I've had a really great opportunity to have the city be involved with all these steps, because that's not always the case in every town that does this.
Right.
And so we're really lucky that the city is involved there.
Well, and I remember when this was firing up several years ago, and that was actually one of the key selling points of this, because the one thing, it's really easy on some hands to go out and just start getting public information, right? But if you don't have the key stakeholders involved and make sure that it's fitting into their process, a lot of times that data, even though it could be great data, doesn't necessarily drive change, right? And it's not that, stakeholders might not have wanted it or whatever, but you've just got to make sure everybody's all on the same page, ready to run at the same time. And I think this is probably one of the first times that it's all sort of coming together, right? Yeah. Between this and everything else. And it's refreshing to see that, the city, if I remember correctly, the city kind of took the initiative on getting this up and rolling and kind of brought everybody along with them and got it all going. And so it shows proactivity, it shows responsiveness, which you wouldn't think those two things go together in one sentence, but it's, an ability to really listen and find out where we want to go. Yeah. So what can people do to participate? Right now, they can go out onto the website and do the survey. Yep. Do you guys need any help at the events? Do you need...
We want people to come to the events. Okay. So their community events will have food. The 2 p.m. one has snacks. The other two have meals. So you can come get a free meal and just talk about what you like about Muscatine. Really easy, and we really want to hear everybody's thoughts. So we'd love if people would come to the events. Also just checking out the events on Facebook. If you want to engage with those, help us spread the word about the events, sharing them, things like that.
Easy breezy.
Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you for being a part of this and keeping it going. And, people, go ahead, put one of those on your calendar. If you can't make it, at least go out, hit the Heart and Soul, muscatineheartandsoul.org website, take the survey. And I would even go out on a limb and guess, if there's something in the survey or that's not in the survey that you want to mention, you could probably just contact them, send them an email, and toss your thoughts out, and they'll be able to figure out how to pull that into everything going on.
Yep.
Sound about right?
Yep. We have a contact box on the website. You can put it in there. Otherwise, my email's on the website, but it's cdintern@muscatineiowa.gov. You can email me questions, comments, concerns.
Yep. So by all means, reach out. And the one thing that I was taught early on in life is most things don't come with a written invitation, right? So don't wait for an invitation to show up at your doorstep saying, would you please come to this, right? This is your version of a written invitation. Go out, be proactive, find things to do in the community, and this is one of them. So, is there anything else you can think of? I think we covered it all. I think that's it. So again, thank you for stopping in, Cammie Senior, and thank you for again putting up with my sense of humor, and thank you viewers for putting up with my sense of humor as well. And we will be right back with a group of ladies that have an amazing grief share program, and they're just, I'm speechless. We'll just say that. So we will be right back. You won't want to miss this. I can guarantee you there will be a couple laughs while talking about grief. See you in a minute.
Did we mention quality matters?
Welcome to our Cut Quality Center. Let's take a closer look.
Our mowers provide superior
Laser precision cut quality.
for a perfectly manicured lawn.
Let's break this down in science terms. This grass is cut good. This grass is cut not as good.
Hustler Turf. Mow like a pro.
Stop in to Muscatine Lawn and Power at 2020 Stewart Road to see Hustler quality for yourself.
It's time for an update from the Not So Late Show with Austin, brought to you by Unity Point Health.
Listen up, everyone. I've got some news. Things are still kind of crazy out there, and the pandemic is still going on. And it's hard to keep people healthy. And right now, things are really tough for healthcare workers. There are a lot of people needing help with their health. They are working very hard. They're tired. And they are working extra shifts. Well, that would be like when you just get right out of school. You have to go back and do it all over again. Ugh. So there's something you need to know. It's time to be kind. Healthcare workers are doing the best they can to help you. They just need your help too. Take care of yourself however you can with your vaccinations and your healthy habits. But if you get sick, go see your doctor. If you have to wait, be patient. Be a patient. They're real people just like you. And do you know why they're working so hard? For you. So show them a little love, or at least a little bit of kindness. That's one way we can all feel better. Okay, that's all I've got, everyone. Stay safe out there and remember to be kind to healthcare workers.
This has been a special update from the Not So Late Show with...
Oh, this is going to be fun, folks. Get ready for the ride of your life. So that I don't put my foot in my mouth, I'm going to let you three introduce yourselves real quick and a quick little overview of the Grief Share program, and then I'll let you guys know why I'm acting like such an idiot.
Okay, good morning. I am Cheryl Eichelberger, former teacher.
I'm Debbie Castle, former teacher. I'm Linda Shea, former teacher and former Eichelberger.
Yes, that's actually a very good point. Mrs. Shea, and yes, I did call her Mrs. Shea, there's a reason. Mrs. Shea was my first grade teacher at Colorado many
years ago, Chris.
And the Shays obviously are great family friends. Shout out to Mike, who should be watching this right now out at the Y. He's probably not,
No, he's probably greeting everybody
but
at the
Mike,
door.
thank you. Thank you. Keep getting out to the Y. Try and get there a little earlier so you can see us. You know, quit sleeping in and being lazy. Just saying, Mike.
Yes, get out of the house.
I don't normally do specific call outs for people's, but Mike Shea, you get one. Okay, now that all my, yes. Oh, did you? Oh,
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
You run it.
wow, this is such a weird dynamic. This is so weird. I don't know if I'm happy, sad, or confused.
Confused.
Okay, so let's get back on track here. So, you guys are here representing your church, correct?
Yes.
And you guys have brought in, I shouldn't say brought in at the moment, but you guys have a Grief Share program that's starting up. So if you could kind of give us a quick overview of like what the goal is and sort of like maybe how you got to bring this program out.
Okay, Grief Share is a support group program. It runs for 13 weeks, and we have a short video and then a lot of discussion. Is for anyone who has experienced any type of grief. I mean, we've all lost someone. We started this program at our church in 2019, right before, so we had a little bit of a hiatus there during the pandemic because we are a small church and we don't have capability to do Zoom. We don't, yes.
Well, and which church is it?
High Prairie.
High Prairie, which is where?
7 miles west of town. Yes. on High Prairie Road.
There we go.
2050, 215th Street is the address.
So how do you get there? Like I can picture it, but what's the easiest way?
Go out Highway 22 west.
Yep.
You're going to turn left onto High Prairie Road, and about from the bypass there, it's about 4
4
miles.
Yep.
And then you're going to go a mile, and we're right on the corner.
There you go. So it's like before you get to the river, before all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, much.
It's not that far out. I mean,
No.
7 miles on one hand sounds like a lot, but it's not. And
On a good day, it takes me 10 minutes to get there.
I bet I could do it in 9. So grief is such a nasty beast. You know, for those that don't know that are watching, you know, we lost a daughter and a son, a daughter a couple years ago, and our son 15, 16 years ago now. And it is a process, right? But it's not necessarily a linear process, and it's not necessarily, you know, check it off and you're done and you never go back to that step process, right?
No.
And
You can go to Grief Share multiple times. I've been multiple times. When my father passed away, I went twice, once with my mother and then once by myself, and gained more by myself.
Right. And that's one of the things that's really, I'm going to say interesting, but I know that's probably not the best word about how grief works, is you think you might understand it at one point, and then you something pops up, and then maybe something else comes along, and then you have a different perspective on something, and then you need a different tool in that perspective. You know, like it's a constant thing. And for most people, like when you're looking at grief, it's somebody, say you've lost somebody, it's someone that's been a big part of your life for a long time. Like, it's not something that just goes away. Like, it doesn't.
Right. Grief is very individualized too. And everybody deals with it differently, but this program gives you a chance to talk. And, you know, everybody has been losing, I've lost a brother, parents, whatever, you know, a spouse. So we've all lost somebody, so we kind of know where you're coming from.
Right. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the interesting thing, and we talked about this a lot at the Children's Hospital. Empathy versus sympathy, right? And, you know, sympathy is feeling bad for someone, right? Empathy is feeling with someone, right? Yes. And grief is probably the most distinct way that people can understand the difference between those two things, right?
Yes.
When somebody you know has someone that passes away in their life, if you go up and, hey, I'm sorry for your loss, right? That's sympathy, right?
Yes.
But if you stand next to them through the loss,
then
and
you're empathetic,
and you feel it with them, and those two things are very different. Both have their time and place, right? Empathy, though, is the one that people are going to remember and really see value from, right? And I also don't want to take too much time off on little random subjects, but there's a great story about a man falls in a hole and he's having a problem. Look at this look. Oh my goodness. How do I, trust me, this will get us there. This will get us there. I promise. I promise. I got that look a lot in first grade too, just so you know. Okay, so a guy falls in a hole, right? And he can't get out. And a pastor walks by and he says, hey pastor, can you help me? He writes a prayer, throws it down the hole, and walks on, right? Rabbi walks by, writes a thing, throws it down. You throw in a whole bunch of people, throws it down. And then an old friend of his walks by and he says, hey buddy, can you help me? I'm stuck in a hole. And the buddy jumps down in the hole with him. And he looks at him and says, you idiot, now we're both in the hole. And his buddy says, yeah, but I know the way out.
Yes.
That's empathy.
Yes.
That's what Grief Share's all about, right?
Yes.
Like, you don't have to be able to do it for somebody. You don't have to be able to do all that sort of stuff. You just be there with them.
After my husband passed away, I was still teaching, and there was one teacher in our building. Every morning when I got there, she would just put her arms around me. No words were spoken at all, and that meant more to me than a lot of other things that were said or done.
And it's a conscious decision, right? And when you're experiencing grief, you can tell those two things apart instantly, right? And that's what I love about the concept of like the Grief Share program is when you put people who are in, let's call them similar experiences, right?
Right.
It makes it a lot easier to create that environment, what you think? You know, because you're all going through it, you all can, you know, kind of like understand what somebody really needs, right? Because you know what, and that's also as you go through the process further, right?
Right.
Like, it's not necessarily like something you can do day one, of course, but.
Right.
No, it takes not practice, but it takes time with that person too.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not just a hit or miss.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So if somebody, who would you say the Grief Share program is for? Like if somebody's at home right now listening, what would they maybe be thinking? What have they gone through to take that first step to be part of this? Like lost a loved one?
I would say the first step would be to reach out to a Grief Share program. It does amazing things to people, you know, no matter who you've lost in your life. Getting together with other people and talking about grief and talking about maybe your grief. It might mean something to somebody else, but it helps them in a way that we're not aware of. So just be brave and reach out step out, go to a Grief Share program.
And since we're small, I think that allows people to open up much easier about their grief.
So what are the best ways for somebody to contact you guys if they want to be a part of this?
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
This is Cheryl's baby. Cheryl started this, and I said, yes, I'll help you out. And then we got Debbie and Randy to come in.
My husband helps too, so there's a man also.
Yes.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes. Well, our church's program is starting on August 22nd, which is very soon, and then it will go through November 14th. It will be every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock at High Prairie Church. The best way to contact is to call me at 563-299-1432, Linda at 563-260-2557.
My number's 563-299-7926.
Yes.
And just say, hey, I'm interested in your Grief Share program. Can I come? Yes.
Right.
Anybody can come.
There is also, Grief Share has their own website, which is an excellent website, and that is www.griefshare.org. And you can also register on that website for our meetings. Contact any of us. We do have a church Facebook website, and it's High Prairie Highlights.
Right.
And this information will be on there. This information is on my Facebook page. We try to make it well known.
I'm going to double check something real quick before if you just type into Google Grief Share Muscatine, you're going to find it. You'll also, even a couple down, you'll find our information on it and stuff like that. So just get to Google, type in Grief Share Muscatine. You'll find it.
And then if you, once you get to that website, there is a place that says find a meeting near me, and then that will take you to our church or any other churches in the Quad City area that's offering it.
Now, is there any cost associated with this for people?
There is a $20 cost for the workbook. However, we don't want that cost to stop anybody from coming, so we will pay that $20. We call it scholarships.
If they can't.
If they can't.
Yes.
And if they Discover Muscatine will pay it for you if that's what you need to do. Like, just if it's something you think, like, here's the thing: if you're sitting at home right now and you even remotely think that a Grief Share program might help,
try it out.
It probably will.
It probably will.
And make the phone call, and you'll be glad you did. So
yes,
yeah, you will.
Now, I have a question. You and I talked on the phone, was that yesterday or the day before?
I don't remember.
I asked you to do something for me.
Yes,
Did you do it?
I did do it, and she did say your name.
Boom! I knew it!
She said one of the favorites, Chris.
Oh.
Actually,
so,
I don't have favorites.
Yeah, whatever.
Just
Yes, you
ones
do.
I like really
so here's,
well.
here's what we were talking, and when she mentioned Linda, I of course said, okay, we've got to mess with Linda. And I said, please send her a text and say, hey, I was just talking with your favorite first grader, and see if she can guess who it is.
And one guess.
One guess.
Yeah.
You were right. One guess.
I knew it.
You left a good impression.
You know, my parents
I
did.
must have, yeah.
My parents did. It was. Oh, holy cow.
Chris.
These are the things you can only have if you've been born, raised, and still live in Muscatine.
Yes. Absolutely.
And with an Eichelberger name, I'm going to guess you guys have 100 stories like this as well. Ladies, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. And thank you for putting on the Grief Share program and, making sure that it is available for those that need it. And again, like we always say, folks, that first step, just take that first step, get out there, get going. And you're going to find people that are additional resources, like if you then have other questions, can help direct you places.
Yes.
And, build that tribe around your grief and around your mental health, and life will get better.
Yes.
It will.
Yes.
I mean, it's just how it works.
Yes.
And it's something you've got to do. Like, grief doesn't go away on its own, and it doesn't ever actually go away, right?
Nope.
You just learn how to process it, how to live with it, how to understand it, and then continue on,
Move
right?
on, yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
again, ladies, thank you for coming in. And Muscatine, that was a full show. Like,
Yes,
even
it
Christmas.
was.
If people say there's nothing going on in Muscatine, I challenge them.
Yes.
Well, we learned about 3 other things besides
know.
the
Yes.
program.
Yeah, and we probably could have had 4 more. But on that note, that'll do it for us for the week. We will see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, Muscatine, and don't forget to go to the Brew Saturday night for the Fueled by Emo concert to raise money for NAMI. Yep.
Okay.
You get it? Got it?
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Ladies,
Thank you,
thank you
Chris.
very
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Muscatine.